person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, in kinship we unite. In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. In the sanctuary, feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unity of Springfield. We're going to start our service with song today. You just turn in your blue book to page number 1, 100 Ways, page 1.
There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. At least 100 ways I can receive. So I embrace my good, and I do believe. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. At least 100 ways for me to believe, and countless blessings that I now receive. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good are at least 100 ways. My good is coming to me. My good is coming to me. My good is coming to me.
Thank you, Gay and Alyssa. Well, we light the Christ candle as a part of our connection to the greater unity movement, and we connect and hold individual ministries in prayer. And so this week we will be holding all the ministries in the state of Tennessee in prayer. So we think of all these churches from Memphis to Chattanooga to Knoxville to Nashville and all through the state. And we see these places being blessed with love and joy and abundance. And we think of our greater world, this planet Earth upon which we live, as this home of ours, traveling through space. And we envision for everyone on it a feeling of comfort, abundance, and love. Thank you, God. Amen. And now, let's see what the next slide entails. All right. I'm going to, let's save the introduction for a little later and move on to the next slide. And I invite our platform assistant, Bill, to come up here and get things rolling.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. And welcome to Unity. We extend a special welcome to those of you to visiting for us for the first time. On your way in, you should have received a welcome packet. And we also have a gift for you, so see one of our greeters after today's service if you did not receive one. Unity is a worldwide spiritual movement. We are an inclusive community and welcome all people. And today is birthday Sunday, so we invite those with June birthdays to stand, and we will sing happy birthday to you. Okay, we have a few, oh my goodness, 4 people, all right. Uh-huh. Have a few announcements to share with you this morning. I'd like to join us today after the service in Margaret Kane Hall for our monthly fellowship potluck. Reiki treatments will be offered after the potluck in the chat room. So use the sign-up sheet located in the foyer to ask any one of our Reiki practitioners wearing orange lanyard to receive a free 10 to 15 minute treatment. If you are number 1 and 2 on the sign-up sheet, go to the chat room after the potluck to begin your treatment. Other participants, please continue to enjoy the fellowship in Kane Hall until you are called by one of the practitioners. The 9 o'clock spiritual class on Sundays is currently studying the book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. Everyone, of course, is welcome to attend, and books are available in the bookstore. Please note that the Tuesday Zoom prayer service has been discontinued until further notice. In the meantime, a link to the monthly Unity Prayer Service video will be provided in the weekly email updates. Wednesday at 5:30, Karen Kelly will lead the gathering meditation via Zoom, creating a sacred space for introspective meditation. And you are invited to participate in the monthly Crystal Bowls meditation, with Peggy Patty on Thursdays, June 5th at 6 o'clock. Immerse yourself in the soothing, healing vibrations as we send harmony, peace, and balance into our community and into our world. There is a suggested offering of $15. All are also welcome to join in the Flute Circle with David Tell on Thursday, June 12th at 1 o'clock. That is also held here in the sanctuary. Beginners are encouraged to attend as well. And we're planning another art show to run from mid-June to October. The show will kick off with an opening reception on Saturday, June 14th from 6 to 8. We hope you come out to support this ongoing fun event where we showcase our local talents, skills, and gifts. Emails are sent out weekly that have information on current happenings and how to join in events. To sign up for our emails, ask a greeter for a yellow card to fill out, or visit our website to subscribe. Also, check out our website for up-to-date information at unityofspringfieldil.org. We would also like to give thanks to Reverend Karen Lindvig for visiting us at Unity of Springfield and for being our guest speaker today. Creating our thoughts and our world through our thoughts and beliefs we hold in mind as a spiritual principle we practice here at Unity of Springfield. And we also know this truth. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And our vision statement, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our vision statement, we recognize God is love, individualized in all people. Therefore, we provide a positive environment for spiritual growth that empowers all to be God's love in the world. And our youth and family ministry affirmation. Our youth and family ministry empowers the next generation with loving kindness and acceptance, creating a sacred space for children, teens, adults to explore, discover, and experience spirituality. Linda Canner will read today's daily word.
Good morning. Beautiful day, isn't it? Today, I need to find the right day. Today is Sunday, June 1st, and our word for today is zeal. Divine zeal is my impulse to accomplish great things. Toward the end of his long life, Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore famously wrote, "I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me." This story shows me that as a divine gift, zeal is always mine to call upon. No matter my age or the state of my life, it is the impulse that makes me eager to rise in the morning and gives me energy to get started on the day's tasks. It drives me to give the best of myself to those people and things I care about most. Zeal is quickening, enlivening energy that helps me feel the presence of God within and bring that presence to life in a way that only I can. I sizzle with zeal, with passion and enthusiasm. I live, love, and serve. From Romans 12, verse 11, Do not lag in zeal. Be ardent in spirit. Serve the Lord. And if you'll join me to repeat the affirmation for today, divine zeal is my impulse to accomplish great things. Before we hear today's message from Reverend Karen Lindvig, Reverend Alden will perform special music followed by the meditation. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Hello, you people. This is the Reverends Jake and Elwood's reunion show here at Unity of Springfield. I'm Elwood. This is my brother Jake down there. Jake's come all the way on the train from Chicago to be with us people. Of course, you know I'm now a new resident of Springfield. Love Springfield. It's a great place. It's in Illinois. That's what's important. And I got a little song here to do. So I got to move over here. Yeah. Oh, cool. Almost knocked my fedora off there. Yeah. Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago. Well, come on, don't you wanna go? Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago. 1 1 is 2, 6 and 2 is 8. Come on, baby, don't you make me late. Hide hey, baby, don't you wanna go? But down to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago. Come on, everybody. Baby, don't you wanna go? Oh, come on. Baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago. Thank you. Hey, Jake, I got an extra pair here if you need them. Yeah, for your talk. Okay. I've gotten a little older too. I gotta wear these now. Yeah. All right. First things first, thank you to everybody who makes this service possible, to Gay and Alyssa, our music department, to Bill and Linda, our platform people, to Chris and Danny back there in the tech booth, Ron and Doris, our greeters, Chris Farashon in Cincinnati, who prepares most of these slides. Welcome to everybody watching us on YouTube and Facebook. And now, we're going to take all this energy, we're going to bring it inside, we're going to mellow out in meditation. So when it's comfortable for you, gently close your eyes and go within and feel yourself relaxing, letting go of all of your concerns, challenges, obligations, or anything that might distract you from the flow of spirit, the flow of divine energy, the flow of divine love. For we are here in this moment right now to fully embrace and experience our inner connection, our inner relationship with our true selves. For we are spiritual beings expressing in human form. And we are on this journey through life to learn, to grow, and to frequently reconnect in a spiritual sense with the Christ of our being. And we feel and sense this power, this spiritual identity within us by simply becoming aware of our hearts, feeling the energy and life flowing from our spiritual hearts throughout our physical bodies and out into the universe. And with each breath that we breathe, we feel that flow expanding to reach and bless every aspect of our being, blessing the cells of our physical bodies with vitality and wholeness. Feel that happening right now. And whatever specifically needs healing and blessing, we feel what it would be like if this aspect of our physical selves were whole and well. We feel the joy, the happiness, and that sense of life filling us with the ongoingness of our life's journey. And we feel this power of spirit, this flow, providing us with all that we need to live our lives well, to do what we need to do, and to do so abundantly and fully. And we feel as if all our needs are supplied by the one source, the one power, the one energy that sustains this entire universe and each one of us. And it all stems from a simple, prayerful, meditative connection with that something that is always here, always within us, and all around us. And so in our own ways, let us learn to accept the good that is ours for a moment in the silence. From the calm and peace and stillness of this moment, we give thanks for this time of meditation and inner reflection, carrying with us into the rest of this day an awareness of who we are as a spiritual being walking our human path. In doing so, with the fullness and power of the universe, of this infinite spirit of good, carrying us forward. And we give thanks in the name and through the power of the living Christ's presence within us all. And so it is. Amen. Give you a moment, come back. I'd like to share a little bit about my long-time connection and relationship with our speaker today with a few photos. And the ones that you see on the upper part and on the bottom left are from a time when we were in ministerial school together. And the one in the upper corner is the day that we were ordained, which I think was June 11th or 10th or something like that, 1984. Yeah, 1984. And I think I may have mentioned this before, but when I go to ministers' groups and stuff and everybody's saying, oh, when were you ordained? Oh, 2015 or 2017. And they look at me, I go, George Orwell wrote a book. Yeah. And so that's our class. And you can see Karen in the middle there, me on the left, and then you see a guy over on the right looks a little bit like me. That was also our dear friend Michael Madej. And the three of us, as you see down in the bottom corner there, we're just like family. I don't know how to put it. And Michael passed away. I know the day because it was Donna's and my 40th wedding anniversary. Would have been May 18th, 2020. Yeah. A real shock. I did a wellness check with him and found him. And so we both are still grieving Michael. He's here with us right now. But I wanted to show him because he was so important to our lives. We think about him, we dream about him. If you go in my office, you'll see a clock on the wall with a cat kind of taking the time. That was Michael's clock. So we all have a piece of him with us. So you can see us there, and down on the bottom there, you see us by a waterway. This is in West Palm Beach, Florida. We were on our class trip. We went to Florida for 10 days and basically saw a lot of churches and went to a lot of convenience stores. The bus driver knew where we wanted to go. And then here I don't remember, this was some sort of, do you remember what it was?
It was a river cruise.
River cruise, that's right, on the Missouri River in Kansas City area. So, somebody snapped that shot of the two of us. Yeah, you look pretty much the same, Jake. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know. To paint some, yeah. And then this is a shot that someone took of us at a convention a few years ago. I think it was in Overland Park, Kansas. But we just go back. I mean, Karen is our video technician's godmother. Mm-hmm. So when I mean family, I mean like family, And when we met in ministerial school in 1982, we were all sitting in the back row, which is where we spent most of the time in ministerial school, the back row, of course. Because we had excellent hearing, so we didn't really need to sit in the front. We discovered we were the youngest members of our class. And we also found out both of us are from the Chicago area. Now, she's really from Chicago. I mean Chicago, Illinois. Chicago. We're talking Wrigley Field, left field bleachers, Chicago. We're talking Dad walking the beat outside Wrigley Field. He was a policeman for Chicago Police Department. You don't get more Chicago than that. Yeah. Me, I'm a foreigner, Chicago, East Chicago, Indiana. Oh, well. My dad worked in downtown. He rode the train there every day. So that's our connection, and we just keep it up through the years. We may not talk on the phone for 6 months, and then we talk, and it's like we just pick up the conversation like that. It's like, just how it is. Well, I'm going to just share a little bit about her officially. This is from her church's website. You can read it yourself, but I'll read it to you right now. Karen was born and grew up in Chicago, Illinois, where her father worked as a Chicago cop. Her teenage years were spent, I've already shared this, as a bleacher bum in Wrigley Field. As she developed her own spirit, she found herself heading off to travel around Africa with a group of people whom she only knew through an ad she had answered, inviting others to join them on the trip. Wow. After her travels, she returned home and became an avid student of yoga and astrology. In 1980, Karen served as a staff member at the Shivananda Yoga Ashram in the Bahamas. She taught classes, led satsangs, and along with other staff, managed the day-to-day operation of the ashram. Upon leaving the ashram, she traveled around the U.S. and discovered unity. It was the perfect blend of the Eastern teachings that she had grown to love and the Western teachings in which she had been raised. Karen entered ministerial school in 1982. She was ordained in 1984 and served her first ministry in Olathe, Kansas. That's in the Kansas City area. From 1985 to 1990, she served Unity Ministry of Reno as senior co-minister until she was called to Seattle Unity. Karen has continually served Seattle Unity as a minister since 1990. Do the math. Karen moved to Seattle when her daughter Caroline was only 6 weeks old and her son Jordan was 2 years old. Karen Lindvig has 2 children, 2 stepdaughters, and 2 granddaughters. Wow, yeah. She is loved and admired for the prayer consciousness she holds and for her ability to make one feel absolutely loved and blessed. She brings a wealth of unity experience to her deep and thoughtful messages. Karen's service has been far-reaching, including prayer ministry, mentoring individuals for the ministry, the chaplain program, and the Earth Care Ministry. Her messages are powerful, operating on a variety of different levels, and she combines the wisdom and insights into the human condition with a profound mystic's understanding of expanding spiritual awareness. And Karen remains an avid Cubs fan, astrologer, and lover of yoga. So, enough of me. Let me introduce to you right now my brother Jake from Chicago.
All right. So, as Alden shared, we've known each other since 1982, and we became Jake and Elwood by accident. So we were prayer partners when we were in our first year of ministerial school, and John Belushi had just died. And so we're in our prayer group, and I was like, I have a feeling that John Belushi doesn't know that he's dead. So I think we should pray for him and stuff. So we did. We went into prayer, and we're blessing John Belushi. And then when I opened my eyes, he's looking at me with one eyebrow raised, just like John Belushi. So somehow that just sort of morphed into, he was Elwood because he does the accent better. So anyway, we've both been on a mission from God, but mostly then we were trying to survive our 20s and ministerial school with our sanity intact. Like Jake and Elwood, we were dodging the cops of spiritual authority, like our teachers Martha Judici and Hypatia Hasbrook, who was our dean. So my talk today is called There's a New Pope in Town. So other than John Belushi and the Blues Brothers, Chicago has birthed another Chicago icon, and that is, of course, Pope Leo XIV. And when he stepped out on that balcony and we found out he was from, I had the New York Times up on my computer, and I was like, oh my God, they got a new pope. Oh my God, he's from the United States. Oh my God, he's from Chicago. And of course, the first question wasn't theological. The first question was, is he a Cub fan or is he a Sox fan? And of course, he's from the South Side, so he's a Sox fan, even though, I'd hoped there for a while that he was a Cub fan. So how many here were raised Catholics? How many are all the Catholics? So when I grew up on my block in Chicago, our family and my cousins lived 2 doors down. We were the only ones that weren't Catholic. Everybody else on our street was a Catholic. And I was pretty glad about that because especially on Fridays when they would all eat fish, and the smell of fish sticks would just sort of permeate the neighborhood, and I would run home and go, thank God I'm not a Catholic, that I don't have to do that. And I want to acknowledge off the top that the Catholic Church has had its issues, obviously, beginning with the patriarchy and where women are still denied a seat at the table of leadership, where we know that abuse has occurred and outdated rules about gender and sexuality still dominate. Yet, something magical happened when Pope Leo stepped out on that balcony. There's a CBS correspondent, his name is Tony Dokopil, and he was there and he shared this, and I want to share it with you. It's pretty amazing. He said a roar, almost an engine power, and then a real dizziness, a feeling of elation, a feeling of flight. The feeling in the crowd here was like something magical had occurred. Multiple people told me that they're here by chance, but once they were, they felt almost a magnetic draw to be present in the square. And I asked them why, and they said the reason is because nowhere else on earth, at no other time, can you stand someplace where everybody around you is one. There is a feeling of unity and singularity that people did not realize they hungered for so deeply until the moment that they were here. And so when Pope Leo stepped out onto the balcony and there was the roar, maybe what they were hearing wasn't just applause. Maybe it was some kind of a longing for something ancient to become new. And these are the words of Pope Leo that he said when he came out. He said, "Peace be with you. Dearest brothers and sisters, this was the first greeting of the risen Christ, and I too would like this greeting of peace to enter your hearts, to reach your families, and all people of the earth. This is the peace of the risen Christ. It comes from God, who loves all of us without limits or conditions, because Christ goes before us and the world needs his light. So, of course, being in unity, I always need to translate this and make it in unity terms, because we know in unity that the Christ is the Spirit of God that dwells within all of us. It is the Atman, it is that presence. And Charles Fillmore believed that the risen Christ actually represents the rising up of the whole human, spirit, soul, and body into the Christ consciousness of life. So the risen Christ is that awakening into Christ consciousness of all of us. And this, I think, is what some people felt that day in St. Peter's Square. The rising of something that's out of the ordinary. Again, the correspondent said, a feeling of elation, a feeling of flight, the feeling in the crowd like something magical had occurred. So it's that rising up of love, it's that rising up of spirit, it's the rising up of Christ. It seemed like there is an energy that day, it seemed like there was an energy that was released. And it feels like it was a counter energy to the negativity that we've been experiencing so much lately. And like the Blues Brothers, the Pope stepped out of a smoky hallway and out onto the balcony with purpose, style, and a kind of gravitas that said, we're putting the band back together. A band of hope, kindness, and the risen Christ. So Pope Leo lifted not only the people of St. Peter's Square, but I think he lifted the people up around the world. He lifted them out of the ordinary because they felt, again, that rising up of Christ consciousness. And so what I'd like to do is step back and look at what is ordinary. What is it about being lifted out of the ordinary? So the ordinary is, it's doing the laundry, the dishes, it's driving the kids to school, it's brushing your teeth, it's feeding the dog and the cat, cleaning the litter box, group texts you didn't ask for. So events that are ordinary kind of build a structure around us. But the truth is that we get so stuck sometimes in the ordinary and in our routine that we don't really see what's going on, we don't really see each other. Yet we have moments, we have glimpses of things that take us out of ordinary existence. So I'm living, as you know, I've been living in Seattle for a long time now. And Mount Rainier is this huge mountain that's a dormant volcano. And it's huge. Anyway, you can see it pretty much everywhere. Except the problem is that it rains all the time in Seattle, and it's always cloudy. So you never see the mountain. You don't see it. And then one day it's clear, and you're walking down the street, and you see this thing that just appears, and it's like, wait a minute, and everybody just stops, and it's like, takes your breath away. You're like, what the heck is that? Oh yeah, it's the mountain. I forgot about the mountain. But nature has a way of pulling us out of the ordinary, whether it's looking at the stars or seeing Mount Rainier or the Grand Canyon. Think of those times when you've been like just flabbergasted by these things that you've seen. When my daughter was a teenager, we were in Arizona, and I wanted her to see the Grand Canyon. And I wanted to watch her see the Grand Canyon. But the problem is she was a teenager, and so you know that she was rolling her eyes all the time at everything, like, meh. So we get to the Grand Canyon and we park, and you know, when you park, you can see there's a walking trail along the rim, but you can't actually see the canyon. So I'm like, well, it's up there, and she's kind of rolling her eyes like, okay, you know, whatever. And she got to the edge of the canyon, and she staggered backwards because it was so amazing. And then, of course, she saw me looking at her, and it was like, just brush it off, you know. It's like, yeah, it's not that big a deal. It's okay. But we have these moments that take us out of ourselves, moments that are transcendent, and it's then that we remember who we are, and it's those moments that lead to Christ consciousness. So again, we have our routines that hold us together, but we yearn for something more. We yearn to be lifted out. And I think it's why watching sports is so popular, right? It's like You know, I was at the Wrigley Field last week, and we won in the bottom of the 11th, and it's like, yay, you know, everybody sings, and it's just happy. But, you know, it's exciting to watch your home team hit a home run in the bottom of the 9th or the 11th to win, or the touchdown that wins the Super Bowl, or the magical shot that wins the basketball game, or the kick that wins the soccer game. There's nothing like being in a crowd when your team wins. I was there when the Cubs won the pennant, and it was like, I can ascend now, I'm done. Everything's done. It's not quite St. Peter's Square, but it was that for me. And I think it's one of the reasons we come together to worship, because we're looking for that out of the ordinary experience. So sometimes we use substances like drugs or alcohol to lift us out of the ordinary. And we seek to alter our reality because we know that there's something more. But the problem is, drugs and alcohol can end up having the opposite effect and lead us farther away from spirit than closer. So we're kind of like programmed to be in search of a high in a way. So I would kind of like to just kind of go through, so what are some of the things that you've done to step out of the ordinary? So I'm going to name some things off, and if you've done these, just raise your hand. So meditation, sweat lodge, traveling to foreign countries especially, that kind of pops your brain open. How about a vision quest? Now see, on the West Coast, everybody does a vision quest. Music, prayer, fasting, being out in the wilderness. How about hiking in Sedona and sitting in one of those vortexes? Walking the Camino or other spiritual pilgrimages. Being at the birth of a baby or giving birth to a baby yourself. Being at the bedside of someone who's dying and made their transition. A wedding that opened you, a ritual. All right, how about ayahuasca or LSD? You don't have to raise your hand. What have I left out? What is something that has pulled you out of the ordinary? Just shout it out if there's anything.
Sitting on the top of a mountain in Alaska watching the sun go all the way around me and never set.
Sitting on top of a mountain in Alaska and watching the sun. Anyone else? Looking up at the night sky. That's one of my favorite things, too. Yeah. Northern Lights. That's on my bucket list. I haven't seen that yet. How about an eclipse? Anybody remember that eclipse that was here not that long ago? That was like, boy, that just pulled me right out. So some of these experiences have life-altering effects, and we're never the same. Some are just fleeting. Alex Warren, who's a musician, songwriter, he wrote a song called Ordinary. And one of the lines is, so if our time is running out, day after day, we'll make the mundane a masterpiece. So how much do we miss by being so caught up in our to-do list or worrying about things that might never happen that we miss the miracles that are right in front of us? Time is long, but life is short. And the older I get, the more I know that to be true. So all these things are happening, and we don't see it. So I was recently rereading the play by Thornton Wilder, Our Town. Remember that play? It's a great play. Takes place at the beginning of the 1900s, and a young woman named Emily dies in childbirth, and she's sitting up at the cemetery with everybody else in town that's died. And as she's sitting there, she realizes that she could go back and she could live a part of her life. And she goes, I want to go back. I want to go back and live one of the days of my life. And everybody's like, no, don't go back. And she goes, well, I won't choose a sad day. I'm going to choose a happy day. And they said, no, please, whatever you do, Don't choose a happy day. Choose an unimportant day. Choose the most unimportant day of your life because it will be important enough. So she says, all right, I'll pick my 12th birthday, and I'm going to show up in the morning so I can live the whole day. So she shows up in the kitchen in her house when she's 12 years old, except she's a ghost. And she's watching her mom cook in the kitchen. And she says to her mom, she goes, Mom, I'm here. Oh my God, look how young you look. I didn't know you were ever that young. And then she hears her mother yelling to the kids upstairs, come on, get dressed. You can get dressed by the fire, but hurry up. And she goes, Mama, and no, she hears her 12-year-old self say, Mama, I can't find my blue hair ribbon anywhere. She says, just open your eyes. It's going to bite you if it was a snake. It's on the dresser. She hears her dad outside saying, where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl? And her mom says, hey, don't interrupt her. You can see her at breakfast. She's slow enough. Kids, get up. It's 7 o'clock, and I'm not going to call you again. Sound familiar? Emily's standing in the kitchen watching all this happening, and she goes, I can't bear it. They're so young, and they're so beautiful. Why did they get old? She hears her mom say, chew that bacon good and slow, and it'll help you keep warm on a cold day. And Emily is standing again in the kitchen as her ghost, and she goes, Mama, just look at me for 1 minute, as though you saw me. Just for a moment, we're all together, and we're happy. Just stop and let's look at each other. She hears her dad say from outside, where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl? And Emily's standing, and she goes, I can't do this. I can't. She goes, we just don't have time to look at one another. She said, I didn't realize that all that was going on, and I didn't even notice. So she looks around, she says, goodbye, world, goodbye, Mama, Papa, goodbye to clocks ticking, goodbye to food and coffee, iron dresses, hot baths, sleeping and waking up. Oh, Earth, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize you. So she goes back to the cemetery and she says to the others, she says, do human beings ever realize life while they're living it? And person in the next grave says, nope, that's what it is to be alive. To move about in a cloud of ignorance, to spend and waste time as though you have 1,000,000 years. So how often could this be said of you and me? Emily is living an ordinary life, but it isn't ordinary at all. You're living an ordinary life, but it isn't ordinary at all. And she can't see it until she is no longer there. So how many of us can't see the blessing that we're living right now until it passes us by? Brother Lawrence said, the time of busyness does not with me differ from the time of prayer. And in the noise and clatter of my kitchen, I process God in as great tranquility as if I were on my knees. So glimpses behind the veil don't require a pilgrimage. They happen right here. They are triggered by some of the things that we listed. They remind us of what we are, where we come from, and what calls us forward. And most of our lives are lived in ordinary time. So the invitation is to make the mundane a masterpiece, to find the sacred in the ordinary, not just the fireworks. Thomas Merton said, life is this simple. We are living in a world that is absolutely transparent, and God is shining through it all the time. So we're all on a mission, and it's, again, to make the mundane a masterpiece. And I'd like to anchor it in with a call response. And I kind of played with this, but I wanted to bring back some of the Pope's words with the unity twist. And so what I'd like for us to say together is Christ rises within us. Knowing that when I'm saying Christ rises within us, it's not Jesus' last name. It's that Spirit of God, that Spirit of love that is rising. So Christ rises within us. Let's hear it. Christ rises within us. In the rising sun, when nothing feels special, but everything is, Christ rises within us. In dishes and deadlines, in parking lots and long lines, when the car breaks down, the bills pile up, and you still choose kindness, when the mountain appears, or the baby is born, or someone you love leaves this world, when we change the sheets, take out the trash, or pet the cat, and when it feels like nothing you're doing matters, but you do it with love anyway. So yeah, the Grand Canyon can change your life, but so can a Tuesday in Springfield, if you're paying attention. And sure, you could fly to Sedona and you could sit in a vortex and hear the voice of God, or you could just step outside and let a crow yell at you because you're too close to the recycle bin. So whether you're in St. Peter's Square or driving down Route 66, whether you're in clerical robes or yoga pants, there's a new pope in town, and he's putting the band back together, a band that's calling for the risen Christ in us all, because we're all on a mission from God. So let me close by putting this in Blues Brothers terms. Aha. We're not waiting for a sign from above. We're already on the road, tires spinning, sunglasses on. We got a full tank of gas, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. And somehow, in all our human fumbling, our mission breaks through because we're all on a mission from God. Amen.
Thank you, Jake. I have one question, though. I've never walked the Camino over in Spain, but would walking to the Mellow Cream donut shop over here, yeah, that's what I thought. It's a good substitute, yeah. I did it once. I didn't drive my car, I walked. Yeah, walked. So. All right, thank you. Are we ready to sing, guys? I'm looking at our musicians over here. Your blue books, number 37, Song of the Universe.
We're each a note in the song of the universe, each a part of the whole. So let your note be a part of the symphony to satisfy your soul. Each one of us makes our own special music. Everyone is unique. When we let our song come forth, we find the love we seek. We reach a note in the song of the universe, each a part of the whole. So let your note be a part of the symphony to satisfy your soul. A note from here and a note from there, it's all a part of the song. Join it all together and it makes our planet strong. We're each a note in the song of the universe, each a part of the whole. So let your note be a part of the symphony to satisfy your soul. To satisfy your soul.
Thank you, Gay and Alyssa. Well, we now have an opportunity to share of our love and our treasure with our ministry, Unity of Springfield. And if you came here today with a donation, a tithe, an offering, physically, we have bowls in the front and the back to receive that gift. You can also donate electronically by visiting our website at unityofspringfield.org. Those of you watching us online, should be a link showing up on your screen. You can also text to give, 217-335-4121, or mail us a check. You put a stamp on it, send it here, 417 East Cordelia, Springfield, 62703. And so let us now affirm our offering statement together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. Amen. And now let us affirm together the prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now let us rise, form a circle as best we can. Join hands if you like as we sing, Let There Be Peace on Earth.